When it comes to political beliefs, there is without a doubt a strong connection between one's beliefs and their personality or their general behavior. Nobody really denies this. We simply have different opinions on what they usually are. And the one we will be talking about in this video is the communist incel type. There are exceptions, of course, and I am not saying that all communists are like this. I mean, that would be just stupid. However, there's a large portion, a very large group of them, that would fit in this category. As for the deviations and other personality types, I would personally love to talk about these deviations and my opinion on them. However, in this video, we're going to be concentrating on the communistic incel type and what their personality traits are, what circumstances cause them to be this way, and how this extends much further than simply communism. The first part is personality type. Left-wing people, including communists, tend to be of a personality type that is higher in openness and lower in conscientiousness. This means that they tend to hold interests in philosophy and politics and are higher in creativity, but they are lower in industriousness and orderliness, and in general are less hardworking and less practical. They are the epitome of the intellectual type, but this isn't to actually say that they're higher in intelligence. From what I've seen, there is nothing really to suggest that there is a deviation in intelligence between these two personality types. Though this isn't to talk poorly of the intellectual type, I personally think it is very important for society to have people who are higher in openness, though of course to a healthy degree. After all, there is nothing wrong in itself with having higher amounts of openness and lower amounts of conscientiousness, though the issue comes with the coping, which leads us to circumstance when it comes to these personality types, when they are placed under stress. Some personality types, as a means of coping, have different responses. Some will actually take physical action when they are presented with a problem. This personality type, though, action is not their strongest point. They like to intellectualize things. They like to daydream more. They like to think about the problem, but they don't actually want to go through the trouble of working it out. Things are going really bad right now, but I'm not actually going to make a difference myself. I'm just going to sit here and say we should do different things. That is what their personality type is more prone to, which is perfect for the incel communists because they like to think of the problems as something outside of their control. They like to intellectualize these things and make it more philosophical. Rather than actually fixing up their own lives, well, they're going to think about this in political terms. As a result, they're more prone to the utopian ideas. They're more prone to simply talking about and thinking about how society is to blame and not me. I'm not the one who put myself in this position. I'm simply a victim of circumstance and the oppressors. So why should I work towards a solution? They don't actually change anything in their lives, because they're not the ones to cause it, nor the ones to change it. What needs to be changed is the system. What needs to be changed is society. So of course, this makes the perfect coping mechanism for them because they no longer actually have to address the issue and take physical action because that is where they're weak at. And they can simply intellectualize this issue. Then they start to attend these rallies, attend these protests, which makes them feel like they're fixing up their lives. Yes, I went to protest for the day. Things are going to get better because of me. Not really. You're not doing anything for yourself. You're not changing anything in your life. You're doing this to make yourself feel better. Because if you actually wanted to change things in your life, you might not be living with your parents and be jobless. If you're such a hard-working individual, why don't you even have jobs? These people, they aren't even working. These people who attend these protests. It's all one giant act and coping mechanism for them. We must keep in mind, and this is the crucial part, which is this is much deeper than communism. It is far more than simply communism because communism is simply one form in which this coping mechanism manifests itself. This idea that there are oppressors, there are people oppressing us, and we're victims. And we cannot change anything in our lives because it is the system. It is the oppressor's fault. They're causing these problems, so it's impossible for us to actually help ourselves other than changing this system that will not and should not really change for them. Everybody, for example, knows about the neo-Nazis. They have the exact same victim complex, and they have the exact same coping mechanism as the neocons. They're both utopians in the idea that they're not successful because of society, even though there are people who live in that exact same society, who were born in the same circumstances, yet are making millions more than them, perfectly legitimately. Even most communists agree with this. Even Hasan, who became a multi-millionaire and bought a mansion worth millions of dollars, what did they say about him? Oh, he's not part of the bourgeois. He's not one of the rich elites. The rich elites are the billionaires. Okay, then, why aren't you like him then? You're still poor, you're still doing bad, and he's pretty stupid. What is your excuse? You use this victim complex to keep yourself poor, while people are making thousands of dollars and even millions at a time by feeding you your cope. It's simply a victim and oppressor complex. That's all it is. It's a coping mechanism. Rather than putting in the real work, putting in the real time, the real effort to change your life, it's easier to think of yourself as this victim, to intellectualize the problem. Oh, I would actually be in a better place right now if I was born in this utopia that will never exist. Now here's the thing, these intellectual types that are using their beliefs as a coping mechanism, there is a grain of truth. I'm not saying all of it's garbage. No, don't get me wrong. I believe that Bill Gates is evil. I'm not a fan of these billion-dollar companies getting paid billions from our taxpayer money. They're literally taking our money. Yes, that is factual. That is happening. But that is not stopping you from achieving happiness, from achieving wealth, from achieving success. Though it's funny with these types, because if you actually start talking about this, either A, you are too privileged to actually understand and be put in their shoes, or B, you're just not educated enough, like the university types, which are a different type of communists, which is very interesting. Maybe I should cover that type in a different video. The university communist. That'd be very interesting to cover. However, point still remains. There is truth to it. There is a truth to a lot of these sides. It does not make them fully true, but regardless of how right or wrong they are, they're still using this as a coping mechanism, and it is infectious. If you know anybody who is like this, who uses these things, these ideas, that change is actually outside of their control, you need to get yourself away from them. You need to cut them out of your life, lest they bring you down, because when you start to actually improve your life, they're going to pull you down. They're crabs in a barrel after all. If they can't succeed, why can you? The same bourgeois are keeping them down. So you're just stupid for trying. And either A, they will hate you for trying and becoming different and for succeeding in life, or B, they're going to make you just like them, and you're not going to get anywhere. Thank you so much for watching the video, and if you're new to the channel and you enjoyed this video, be sure to click one of the other videos. I actually made a video the other day on fatherless behavior. It's one of my most popular YouTube videos right now. You probably would enjoy it if you checked it out. Also, I made a couple of animations if that's your type of thing. Be sure to check them out, my friend. Anyways, take care.